Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, the video game series in which we look at a recently released game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at Force Reboot, which is sort of like an arena shooter type game. It looks like it's been heavily sort of influenced by old school FPS games like Doom and stuff in the past. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan, and I don't know whether that's because I'm not a huge fan of the genre or whether the game just isn't really good enough. I will take you through everything and you guys can decide for yourselves what you think. As always, we'll go through the options first and then we'll jump straight into the game and we will see what it's all about. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump straight into those options and see what's available. Alright, the options then. Honestly, not really surprised by the sheer lack of them with a title like this. It's a very small game. It's using a very horrible pixel art style, very stylized of like the late 90s, early noughties of the Doom period. So not really a huge amount for your computer to deal with, I would imagine. However, you do get PSX, you get post-processing, VSync on or off, full screen and invert access, as well as some resolution options there as well. What is important to note is in the audio settings here, volume I assume is sound effects because I turned it all the way down to 0 and the music was still playing in the background. So I would say that's probably more of a mislabeling there and should probably be changed to sound effects or something of the like because it is not, as I actually thought, a master volume. Your music is very loud. It actually starts at around 70%, but it's still incredibly deafening in your ear hole, so you're probably going to want to turn them down. You've got FOV and FPS limit. Obviously, I've got VSync on, so FPS limit is not really an issue there. Your sensitivity and screen shake on or off. Now, interestingly enough, the screen shake is a bar, so you can turn it up or as little as you like, but you still get this weird sort of bobbing movement, which I'm really not a fan of. It makes me a little bit nauseous, if I'm honest. It's not the best in the universe. But yeah, so at least you can turn screen shake off there. It looks like you can rebind the buttons, and this does not have controller support, which is a bit of a shame. I would probably enjoy this game a little bit more if it did have some controller support. But there you go. That's the options. Not bad for a game like this. Could be better, and some things definitely do need relabeling. Let's jump into the game and see what it's like running around and shooting some enemies. Alright, we're in the game then. You're starting this sort of transporter which doesn't stop doing this really annoying thing. You do get some hints and tips as you go around, so you've got to do it in under 45 seconds to get a reroll. Mouse wheel to switch weapons when you pick them up. And you can press tab to view your skills, which is basically just buffs and debuffs. The biggest problem I've got is that the text is incredibly hard to read on this because of the way that it's been done, especially on the tab menu, right? It's incredibly difficult to sort of see what it is that you're doing, especially when they've got the black bar behind the floor and your gun and stuff, which makes it a lot easier to see and a lot easier to read. But I'm not really a huge fan of the pixel art style with these sorts of games anyway. There's not really a lot of room to move around. I'm sure there's going to be people here that can do all of this very quickly, very speedily. You do have a dash and you can jump and you can slide as well, but honestly, dodging and hitting, it's very hard to do, especially for me. It doesn't help that I'm just terribly bad at these games. You take damage the entire time you're in this danger zone as well, which isn't really ideal. But that's all to add to the challenge. So basically you've got to dodge enemies while still taking a huge amount of damage going forward. And you've just basically got to take the room out as quickly as possible. You do have a zoom, you've got a scope, but honestly I find it quicker to just run through and try and kill the enemies without getting hit yourself. And there you go, we made it through to the safe zone and you get to choose a buff. And there you go. That is Force Reboot. It's an interesting game. It's not bad per se, it's just not for me, right? It is not a game that I would particularly find myself enjoying. But let me know in those comments down below if this is the sort of game for you. It does look like the enemies are procedurally generated as well. They look different on each time you go through, which keeps it a little bit more entertaining for you, I would imagine. They seem to spawn in different areas as well. Oh god, I didn't realise there was somebody there. But yeah, there you go. That's Force Reboot. Let me know in those comments down below what you think. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Ciao, ciao.